Alrighty, we're live. Hopefully everything's working good. Yeah, I switched up the location today. I went back to where I normally sit anyways. Yeah, just a bit more comfy. I feel like a bit more relaxed that way. I will start off, well, as per usual, welcome everyone. I do want to say though that this week, hey, good morning, Charles Latora. I am going to say this week that, well, maybe for non-Americans, this week's history heroes trivia, who or what am I, is so bloody easy for Americans that I'm. Good morning, Meandering Mike. Meandering Mike says greetings. To be honest with you guys, I'm not going to. I'm just going to give you the answer for who or what am I. It's just so bloody obvious for you guys, anyways, the Americans. And so what I'm going to do instead is hopefully true or false today, and see if that works for you guys. So obviously you still get 1 point for guessing, and you'll get an extra point if you get the true or false, if you get it right. I also want to mention, I don't know if you guys noticed that we have a new leader, which I'll be honest, I never expected that to happen. I thought for sure Meandering Mike was just going to tick off with it forever. But last week with William Aarons nailing it right off the bat there, and it wasn't, I didn't give him bonus points for his birthday or anything like that. But so William Aarons is at 66 points. Meandering Mike's at 63. Charles Latora, you're so flipping close, 61. And then it plummets because of, the attendance. The attendance for other people is not so high for the live show. Dirk D's at 18 points. Zoe Dufour's at 18. Mark Russell's at 10. And Ken 10 and Math Fun and Games share at 6. So that's it. I'll give you the answer. It's Woodrow Wilson today's. And I was just like, you should have saw the guess, the clues. I was like, this is ridiculous. This is not going to happen. And please let me know. I know that Charles Latora, what's the next game you have on the table? Darn it, I can't remember what the heck you're doing. I know that Meandering Mike's going to try to finish up the Dervelt Krieg introductory scenario, and then I think you also, I could see a Napoleonics game off to the side there, so I'm hoping that'd be kind of nice. So anyways, yeah, I'm gonna like I said, I'm gonna start with the true or false bits and go that way, because I just can't see you possibly. You guys would have guessed it right off the bat, and it's not going to be any fun really. So here, I'll give you the first banner bit, and like I said, it's true or false. So if you guys can, here's your first one. Oh, there's comments here. Chico Adler, hello Nanguaya. If I'm not mistaken, you're from Brazil. You're in Brazil. I may be wrong about that, but I think you are. Anyways, it's great to see you. Charles Latora, which table? I think was it the little table that you had? I know that you said enough's enough with the amateur to arms or whatever the heck it's called, and I'm not sure, but I think Steve Dolges was doing that actual. He's been doing some playthroughs of that, and he's loving it. Yes, Brazil. Okay. Okay, I did get that right. Great to see you. Anyway, so and remember, 1 point. You could start up on the leaderboard here from Brazil. You could start representing that part of the world just by even guessing one bit and getting 1 point. And like I said, today it's going to be true or false. So the answer, if you want to put it that way, is Woodrow Wilson. That was the card I randomly picked today, and I was just like, this is ridiculous. So I'll give you the first clue. Charles Latora says main table will be great campaigns of American Civil War. Sorry, I know there's GBACW, but need readable updated rules. Okay, cool. Here is your banner for the first one. So, and then I'll also, like I said, I'll pop it into the comments section here. I just got to go and find my thing here. Where are you? You would be up a bit. Poster of the day. I'm in the live stream. Oh, there we are. History Heroes. And like I said, I'll put it in the I'll put it in the comment section so you can see it as well. Stonewall Jackson's way. True. Meandering Mike says true. What did I say? You're right. Oh shit. Everyone's going to get 2 points then, because I have to keep my mouth shut and let everybody say something before I answer the true or false. So what's the point of that, I guess? So everybody's going to get a bonus 2 points. Sorry about that. I'll give Meandering Mike an extra point because he got the true bit. Yep, it's true. He played over 1,000 rounds of golf while at the White House, the most of any U.S. president. And I'll give you another one if you guys want. Boink. And which one did I do? I was the U.S. president who brought the U.S. into war in May 1917. And I'll pop that one in as well. I just have to find out where I popped it. Oh, there we go. And I'm not going to say true or false yet. Meandering Mike says false. He could be right. It's a 50% chance. Goodness gracious. Okay, we'll leave it at that for now. I want to flip on to the other side. So I'm like, or maybe I should actually just put on all the true or falses. Doesn't that make more sense? That makes way more sense, I would assume. So I'll just pop them all on, and then you guys can decide the true or falses. Yeah, that makes way more sense. What the world was I thinking? So hold on here. Let me pop that one in the comments section as well. Oh, I already did that one. I'll just pop it in again, so you get it twice. Here's another one, and then I'll just look at it at the very end, so you guys can just say true or false all the way down. It just makes a lot more sense. I should have figured that out. I'm still thinking of the trying to get the clue first. So the next one is I was reelected as U.S. president in 1916 on the slogan "He kept us out of war." Charles Latorre says back table will be one of the scenarios from Napoleon's Wheel. That's the name I just thought was a freaking awesome name for a title of a game. Lots of cards to sleeve in players. I think you were mentioning you were going to buy like a bazillion more things. Here, I'll pop in the that one there. So there's the next true or false one. Like I said, I'll just fire them all in, and then we'll take a look at it later. Here's another one. Germany's policy of sinking American ships was one reason I joined the Allies in World War I. True or false? Meandering Mike says he kept us out of war. True. Boy, you're really rattling them off. Like I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I'm not going to do that yet. But there we go. Here's another one. Ships. Charles Latorre, for a while, ships. Hold on, here's another one. Germany's offer of American land to Mexico helped me persuade USA to go to war. I'll pop that in the banners as well. Which one did I do? Okay, that one. Boink. There we got that one there. And then I'm also, did I do in 1929? I didn't do this one yet. Meandering Mike says true. Boy, I'm going to have to look this all up later, you guys. And here's the next one. In 1929, I received the Nobel Peace Prize for my efforts to create the League of Nations. I'll pop that one in the banner things. There we go. We got another one. Have I finished them up? Meandering Mike says no. Oh, I can't wait to talk about these later. It's going to be fun. I think I may have... Oh, there is one side thing. Meandering Mike says 1919, I think. Interesting. I am going to say one side thing, and we're going to show it to you right now because it came up with... it was just a side comment with one of Meandering Mike's video posts about seeing the Black Bunny, and I had made a comment about his lawn looking good, and then the grass being cut, and he was saying that Mrs. Meandering did the cutting, and then take a look at this. Actually, I'm not going to show it to you in the comments. We'll go straight to the thing here. Hold on. I'll go and make sure that you guys can see this. I'm just going to go back to, okay, goody. Hold on here, present. So this I found interesting. Was this. Hopefully you guys can see this. So one of Woodrow Wilson's Charles Latour says, Mike, I'm brain dead. What is the document's name from Germany to Mexico? I'll give you a hint, Charles Latour. The letter that the diplomat, the something telegram, his letter, his last name's letter, is pronounced differently if you would say it in Canada than in the United States. Anyways, Woodrow Wilson kept sheep on the White House, and I thought this was kind of neat because it says here that there were sheep that grazed on the White House lawn during Woodrow Wilson's administration to keep the lawn down. I was like, oh my God, this is kind of like, it was just nice little connection with Mrs. Meandering mowing the lawn here, and us, yabbering on about Woodrow Wilson. I just thought that was kind of cool. He also had, it says here, a tobacco chewing ram called Old Ike. Lord have mercy. That would have been a great little, I guess, a little mascot or something for a pack of cigarettes back in the day. That would have been pretty neat. Anyways, I'm going to stop. I'll stop sharing that one, and then we'll go back to, I'll see if I can get back to what the heck we should be talking about. What else did I wanted to mention? Oh yes, I will show you this bit. So yet again about Charles Latour says blah 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 black sheep. Yes, can you imagine? That would have been tobacco chewing. Lord have mercy, the things. It all started due to the fact how I ended up with the finding out about the sheep. Is for some bizarre reason I thought Woodrow Wilson kept a red squirrel. I know that red squirrels were a big fad for a little while as for pets, and I was just trying to look that up. Anyways, I was wondering if he was one of the types that kept one, but I couldn't find it. Anyways, about the connection. So when I was writing up on, I'm going to actually show you the picture so I can show it to you right off the bat, because it's a really nice picture. Hold on. I just have to find it. And it's... Now, did I put it in number 30? And would it be that one? Or should I put it... No, I think I should go to the... No, what we'll do is I'll leave it here. And then that's right. Hold on. I'm looking up for... I think I'm going to... there we go. I'm going to show you a PowerPoint thing. It may not look very well. I hope it pops up nicely, and then I can read a little bit. Don't know if it'll slideshow. Does that work? No, I unfortunately don't know how to do slideshows very well. So you guys are going to probably see all this side crap. I'll try not to. See if I can get it to whatever. Hold on here. Back to this bit. Present. Slide. No, oh, I could do that. I'm going to have to do a proper slide at some point, but I'm not going to be able to do it because I've never done a, is this it? No, I want the, there we go. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm just going to go to here. I'm going to get rid of me so you can see it fully. There we go. All right. So I found this. This is all connected up with when I was reading up on or writing down the week that was in the chronology book. And in it, in the Western Front, it was mentioning that the French had made progress towards the town of Mont Saint-Éloi, if that's how it's pronounced, and then they moved on to Souchez, and there was also a refinery they took at Souchez, which I was just like, okay, you know, whatever, on a side note kind of interest. And then later on, I'm reading up in Whiz Bangs and Woodbine's book, and in it, the chapter, I've got it listed down here, The Ruined Country, which was, I found a nice connection with William Aarons way back when he was mentioning one of the posts that I put on my community tab of part of the Western Front, just, I think, the forest in the Argonne just completely wiped out. And he was like, oh my God, look how disgusting it looks. And here we are with the ruined country. Anyways, in this part on the left-hand side is when they got to Souchez. And you can, and I know they're not connected. This is the Church of Mount Saint Eloi. That's and I'll show you a proper picture of it later, and we'll go on to it in a bit. But I just like this painting. You can see a little soldier off here. Anyways, and here's a little bit from the Whizbangs and Woodbines book here. Follow the line of the German retreat, and we come to where Souchez is marked on the map. But Souchez is no longer there. And in the book, Whizbangs and Woodbines, I think it's from around 1917. So, I mean, right now we're in, May, June 1915 with the week that was. And so the French right now have just taken Souchez and the refinery you can see on the side. So now I know it's a sugar refinery. But back then, the town is still more or less intact. But by the time he comes by here in 1917, the town is gone. And you can see here, but the sugar refinery of Souchez, which played a conspicuous part in the victorious battles of the French in this part of the line. Where is it? We look in vain for a building. Not even a blackened wall remains. And yeah, that just blew me away. And I'll show you the... Oh, good morning, William Aarons. William Aarons says, hello, Chris. Great to see you. And William Aarons, hopefully you can take a look at the comments below today's history heroes, who or what am I in World War I. I decided not to do the normal clues because the answer is so obvious for you Americans. It's Woodrow Wilson. So I thought, okay, I'm going to put in some true or falses. So every time you do a true or false, you'll get a point. And just take a look at the comments, and then later on, Meandering Mike's been going bananas putting his true or falses in, and then later on I'll go and tally them up. But I'll show you some other pictures of the real Mont Saint Eloi and a little bit of the little chit chat. And a nice little thing I found about it too. If I can find it, it's under pics. Hold on here. There we go. And sorry if it's, I'll try to expand it. There we go. That should help. And well, you haven't seen it yet, but I'll show it to you. Present. Share screen. And a window. This one. This one. This one. So yeah, here's the actual leftover bits of this church of Mont Saint Eloi. I'll try to find... if I can, in my live stream links, there we go, and see if I can find the, where are you, you little brat? What can I tell you about, this abbey originally was done, I think something like around in the 7th century. I could be wrong about that. I probably am wrong about that. Saint Vindictius or something like that. I'll have to look it up. But one side note I did find interesting was that the French were using this one of these towers as an observation post. It's right near Vimy Ridge and whatnot, and they're able to Arras and whatnot. They're able to get a really good view of what's going on around here, what the Germans were up to. But for a long time, they couldn't clue in why in the world it seems like they were getting shot at often by the Germans. And they were kind of like, how the hell are the Germans able to figure out where we're at? They just couldn't understand that they were able. And eventually someone figured out that there was actually birds roosting in the other tower. And every time they were coming up to go and observe the Germans, the birds were flying away. So the Germans were able to clue in. William Aaron says, false on the Gulf, true about 1917. Charles Latour says, guess I'm going deep on ACW. I have Worthington's Shiloh, last ordered Antietam, the 7 Days Battle, also backed Kickstarter for their upcoming Gettysburg. Holy smokes, well done. Yeah, and it must... That's just well, as you know, I almost started getting into ACW a little bit there with Rob, but we stopped. I think we're just gonna it's gonna happen. We're gonna do a reboot. So, anyways, that's a nice little connection I thought about with the whatevers. Um, I'm gonna go relatively quickly with the week that was and see if that kind of works. Oh yeah, I'll get rid of the banner, so I don't need this anymore. Um, Hide. There we go. All right. And William Harris is true on the slogan. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look this all up later, guys, and tally up. But you guys are doing pretty darn good. I'm really impressed, or maybe I shouldn't be, but as in you guys really know your stuff, and or it's common stuff. Anyways, like I said, so on the Western Front, there was a place called the Labyrinth, which is around that area, like I said, with the around Souchez and that area. So I would like to find out what this what is the Labyrinth. That would be kind of neat to find out about. Eastern Front, the Austro-Germans take Przemyśl this week. So it's amazing that I think it was 73 days before that. That's when the Russians took it, and this week it's been retaken by the Austro-Germans. And from what I've been reading and also watching there with Indy Neidell with the Great War, I think there was even it was so rapid that the Russians weren't even able to destroy some of the defenses they were using to protect themselves against the Germans, and the Germans were actually able to use those defenses. To actually, it was whatever. Charles Latour says need 3 tables: ACW, Napoleonic, World War West, World War II East Front, and William Aaron says true on the unrestricted U-boat policy. Boy, you guys! Oh, I can't say anything. I just gave maybe potentially something away. So what else on the Southern Front? Well, as we know now, the Italians and the Italians last week or whatever declared war on Austria. Both the like I said, I'm just doing very quick little bits this week of what's been going on with all the fronts. The Southern Front, both Italian and Austrian aircrafts were involved in bombing each other's cities, which I thought, I just find it interesting. Naval and overseas operations. The British and the French are gaining ground in Cameroon, which I find interesting. Well, maybe I shouldn't find it actually interesting, because if I do actually get to finally conclude Chapter 4 of the CEF Moves Inland, Lord have flippin' mercy. They're actually, I think like January, February, maybe starting to get into March, that they've only made it up to that point. So maybe I shouldn't be so surprised that it's by the time we're getting into our time now, May, June 1915, that the French and the British are still doing stuff in Cameroon. William Aaron says, true on the Zimmerman. He did it. He gave it to you, Charles Latour. True on the Zimmerman document. So there you go. That's the person you were looking up. You were asking Meandering Mike for. What else did I say? Oh, Mike, which I thought was really neat. The British, there was a British submarine sunk a German vessel in the Sea of Marmora, which is on the other side of the freaking Dardanelles, if I do believe. That I thought was pretty neat. Charles Latour says, thanks, William. Wasn't sure if that was the right name. Well, it is. There you go. And political, Dr. Heldman Holdwig in the Reichstag or whatever did a speech denouncing Italy, and he made some comment about vodka. So I don't know about it. It's supposedly a very, I guess, famous speech or whatever. Whatever. I'm assuming he must be making some derogatory comment about maybe that's why they sided with the Russians, so the Russians could give them a lot of vodka. I don't know. I'm just I'm going off into Wonderland here. Also, that the British started a Ministry of Munitions, and this was partially due to the fact of remember a little over a month ago or whatever with the Battle of Neuve Chapelle, that started off really well and then sputtered to the end, and then they started A lot of them are saying that it was due to the fact that of lack of munitions. Then there was this weird political stuff going on with the British right now, and they're trying to topple the government and so on and so forth. Meandering Mike says, you're going to need to review my answers in sync with the talking since they don't necessarily coincide with when you posted it in chat. Yes. Oh, don't worry. I'm not going to screw with any of your guys' points. That's for sure. William Harris is false. Not in 1929. Oh, darn it. I'm okay. You're right. It is false. I thought I was gonna sneak that one in with you guys. Yeah, it was 1919. He died. Okay, of course, you could still get it posthumously. I mean, you can still get one, I'm assuming. But he died in 1924. I just found out this morning. So there you go. So that's it for this week because I did a relatively quickie one. What else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, let's go to the submarines section right off the bat. William Harris says false, not in 1929. Oh, I already read that one. Sorry. Yep, you're right. So here we go. I'm going to go to the. So let's go take a look at it right off the bat. So I can get rid of the sheep one. And we're going to go to. Let's look at some nice or let you guys look at some nice counters while I yibber yabber about the submarine warfare stuff. Hold on here. I'm going to present, share the screen. Just got to figure out which one it is. Nope, it's this one. All right. And share. There we go. All right, so there I'm going to. So this is the someone did took a picture of one of their counter sheets. So this is counter sheet number 1 from the Grand Campaign, and I'll just go zipping around here. But I just wanted you to see some of the really nice. We'll get to the submarine bit in a minute. And yeah, I know that some of these counters are blurry, but I found the other counter sheet. Some of them weren't looking very nice, and this isn't really all that important right now. I just wanted you to. I mean, I love staring at counters just like everybody else, even though as you know, I don't use them very much. Here's some tank ones. They look really neat. And replacement tank points. There's all these things I just don't have a clue about yet. And there we've got that air advantage there. Personnel centers, weapon level. Wow, it's got manpower. All this interesting stuff that going to be popped around at some point. Stockpile. That's a beautiful word. But where's the sub? There's the U-boat. Anyways, I think I did start talking about it a little bit. Oops. Hold on here. Here we go. I'm on the wrong. There we go. All right. So yeah, there's that U-boat thing. I'm going to see what quick things I did mention about the submarines. Oh yeah, and then I wish I could have done a split thing. Okay, so you saw the counters. Let's go to the rules so that you can take a look at that. It makes more sense. Share this one. Here we go. So there you go. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm just going to take a look quickly. Yep, you can. Okay, good. And please let me know if it's too small or what have you. So there you are, section 59, and like I said, there's a huge amount of stuff to be to go through. And this is just, well, the submarine warfare isn't very much. However, it starts to go off into other stuff. Like I'm going to have to start finding it. Like here, I'm going to go up a bit so you can start seeing, but not just this bit here. We've talked a little bit about that, but that's something we have to go back into it at some point. But it's up here. So sustainment, I'm going to have to start because the submarine warfare talks a bit about that. And then, yeah, that's the merchant shipping. It just that's where I would like to start talking about next week, I hope, to start getting into that. But let's get into the submarine warfare again, see if I can go relatively quickly. And tell you what I know about it. So as far as I know, there you can see when Germany reaches 1,425 demoralization points, that's when they have a possibility of starting to start getting into submarine unrestricted submarine warfare, and it increases each month. So it's a slight chance, and then but it goes pretty high up, as you can see, the 50% chance, and then before you know it, they're in there. And then after that, that's when also there's a chance that um, the United States may start entering the war, and that starts to also increase, um, as you can see. So eventually, the United States are guaranteed to enter the war, and there's also a slight chance that it will go over time that the Entente will figure out countermeasures to submarine warfare, to the unrestricted submarine warfare. But before then, every month that that it's in play, the Central Powers player is going to roll on the 40 column, and they can see here from the 1917 combat results table. And I think I did scan it at some point. I just don't know where the heck I put it. It would have been nice to take a look to see the numbers. But then once the Entente countermeasures kick in, it goes down. You start using the 10 column, so it's significant. And he also talks about the ratio here of so let's say, for example, you rolled 10 sunk shipping points. Or let's say 7. Let's go with we'll be nice and 7. So 4 would go. They say here would be lost towards resource points, and 3 would be lost to shipping points. And these are 2 things I have to learn about. So I can't help you. I can't say I'm not going to give you half stuff. I can whatever. And it also says here at the bottom here that the British player suffers 2 demoralization points per shipping point sunk by the U-boat campaign. So that's pretty significant. I mean, my God, let's say you did roll the 10. I mean, that's 20 points right off just for that little bit right off the bat. So I'll stop sharing that bit for now. And we're back to this. What else did I want to chit chat about? Oh, there's a few things I want to find out about at some point. Well, I do know what it is. Oh yeah, I want to show you some other nice little pictures before hopefully we can go off to Callendale. Is a funk hole. I found out that those little, along the trenches, those little places maybe you see in movies and whatnot. At least I've been watching. I watched that beautiful. I've watched it several times now. I'm probably going to watch it again. It's really, really good. The Battle of the Somme, that docu movie or whatever. Like I said, for me, anyways, I find it's the best of both worlds. It cuts through all the crap. It just gets straight to what I want, and it's not bone dry documentary type stuff. Like, it's really good. I will say on a side note, and if you love the movie, it's great. And it could be a great movie. I don't know if I'm going to watch it at this point. YouTube loves to try to sucker me in, giving, they'll say, oh, like, for example, I got to watch the first 7 minutes uncut, super duper high quality of 1917. And I was kind of like, that didn't really seem, hey, good morning, or, yeah, it is morning for you too as well. Hissy Cat Studio, what the heck am I doing? We're just chit-chatting about, I'm going to show a few pictures of some neato things, and but it's great to see you. I hope you're doing great and you're pseudo awake. What else? You got me sidetracked, but that's part of the course here. I don't know what the heck I was going to yabber on again. I'm just going to show you the pictures. I think that's the best way to do it. Yeah, some of the neato pictures. Here's a nice one I wanted to show you. Hold on here. I'll go to the sharing of the screen. So this is window. There. Now this is just a picture from that book. That's why I put this side here. Just one of the books that I picked up along. It's like a general kiddie-ish, whatever, the Eyewitness World War I book. But I just found this picture on the side, and I was like, I'd love to pop that in. Hold on, I want to see what you guys can see. Make sure that you guys see everything. Oh, goody. Okay, good. And I'll get back to this. But look at that. So you can see here, it's called Crossing the Line. On August 8th, 1918, a huge British offensive began near Amiens. Allied troops were pushing towards the heavily fortified Hindenburg Line, the Germans' defensive position. On September 29th, the British 46th Oh my God, this is freaky weird. You're gonna find out in a minute. The British 46th North Midland Division took the bridge at Brickval, I guess. They had broken the line at last and posed for this photograph. Look at that. Now you're gonna see why I say, holy cow, I didn't realize. This is just yet again, maybe Meandering Mike, another synchronous moment. The British 46th North Midland Division. Now, why I'm saying this is because when I forgot to mention about the church of at Mont Saint Eloi, that that church around that area, they ended up connecting up one of the cemetery to one of the cemeteries, and it just in a weird inadvertent way. The way the dead were brought in, and as the cemetery was put in, you can actually, as you walk through the cemetery, the people are buried in chronological order. So you can actually go through kind of like in a weird way through the war as you go further on. Let's see, I don't know if I wrote it down on here. I wish I had. Probably in my notes off to the side. Yeah, darn it. But yeah, oh, actually, I have it here. Hold on. Yes. See what I said? One of the, for example, and that, like I said, you can see here in the that just freaks me right out. Holy F. So it says here, the 46th North Midland Division. And here I am. This is a complete side note. Like I said, this is another book, and I just looked up, the Church of Mont Saint Eloi because I was reading. It was in the chronology book, and then with the whiz bangs and woodbines, and then this book, and the first example they give of people buried in chronological order is the 46th North Midland Division in March 1916. And then after that, if you continue on, it's the 25th Division from Vimy Ridge in May 1916. And if you continue walking in the cemetery, the next group are buried are the 47th London Division from July-October 1916. And then the successful Battle of Vimy Ridge in April 1917 are the last group that was there. That just blows me away. Okay, hold on. I'm going to show you some other neat little pictures. So this one is, I know it's rinky-dink. I'll try to bring it up bigger here for you. I just thought there was and yet again, it's from that World War I book. I just thought the French Army Pigeon Handler's badge looked really neat. I tried to look for one on another picture of it online, but I just could not find it. Meandering Mike is, what in the world is that? I have no idea what that weird crazy little icon is, but you'll have to let me know. Oh, and then what else did I want to show? Oh, I don't know if I put this in the in my community tab, but I found this really interesting. These sand shoes that the British troops were using in Mesopotamia and in the Palestine area and whatnot. I thought that was pretty cool. So, and Manny Mike says it's a hissy cat. So there you go. Wicked. I should have known. And what else? Let's go to the Africa bit. Or I'm going to show you the HMS Cumberland. So that ship. This is one of the big big vessels that was actually used. With the capture of Douala and a lot of the. They were able to bring that up the river quite a bit during right after the rainy season in Cameroon. We'll go up to that in a minute, and I'll talk because I should really should talk about that before. I think that's it. We can go to this one here. All right, so let's go to what the hell I know about Africa, or the last bit on the chapter here. So, if you guys remember, you may not remember. Because it took me a while. Like I was saying with Charles Latour, I don't know what it is about this chapter. It's like I've got a freaking mental block. So after they've taken Douala, so this is kind of like the close-up place, and they've driven the Germans away from Yapoma, and on, and let's get to a much bigger map, actually. Is this the better one? Somewhat better one. Yeah, I'll try to get The problem is that the way they put the maps on the book, as you can see here, when I went to scan it in, there's no gutter in between here, so it's it's a whole chunk here. You can see where the inset is from there. So what the next big thing is right now is Dobell and his group before moving on. So they've taken up a huge, as you said, they've nailed Douala. Here, we'll go back to the other one here. So this is a bit more. So they've taken all these spots. They have not taken this area here. This is where the Germans more or less are like the newish capital, as far as I know, is up here. And we'll go back to this little bit. So from what I know now is Dobell decided that, all right, we're going to take Adia, but we're going to do this two ways. He's going to send his main force to land here. To get to the mouth of the Nyang River. They're going to move up to Dihani, and then from here disembark and travel. I think it's about 25 miles to get. Tell me if you can see. Hopefully, you can see my arrow and whatnot. And they were going to go attack Adia from behind and use a diversionary force along the Sananga River or whatever here, and then hopefully that was going to work out. Let's see what I've written down for my Africa notes. Where are you? Dobell splits his forces up into two parts for his advance on Adia. Small force, was sent as a diversion up the Sanga River. The main force, led by and mostly made up of French forces, went up the Nyang River and then up towards the Dahani. The main force was then going to go off rivercraft to Dahani and then travel overland to attack the Adia from the rear. The operation began on the 20th of October. And here we'll go back to a nicer little spot because we're actually going to start yabbering on about the Cameroon Mountain in a minute. And by the 26th, after heavy fighting, so way the heck down over there, the Germans withdrew to Yawanda. Let's see if I can find that. Oops, is it the next one? I don't know if we'll be able to see it. So there, okay, goody. So they withdrew back. They withdrew to here, and then Adia was occupied by the main French force. 2 days later, another British force coming from Yapona, sorry, I'm reading the wrong paragraph here. That was by Lieutenant Haywood, and they also eventually also took Susa. So way the heck up here. Where are you, Susa? Thought you were around here somewhere. Anyways, eventually, so after all this has been secured, Dobell decided to focus his attention on the Cameroon Mountain and Buea. This is when also this is at this point, I think I had mentioned last week when I was getting all muddled up, that the British Admiralty had asked for Captain Fuller, who ends up becoming, like I was saying later on, he ends up becoming the second Sea Lord for the British Admiralty much later on. And they also wanted the HMS Cumberland returned to use for other things. And Dobell lost his marbles and said, and he was also, he got along really well with Captain Fuller, who was the head of the naval operations. And he also obviously didn't want to lose the big, the HMS Cumberland. But he was also worried that the naval operations were going to be taken over by the French officers, and he had no confidence in the French naval officers. He had a lot of confidence in the French army officers, but it didn't seem like he had very much confidence in the naval officers. What else can I mention after? Holy shoot, I didn't realize I had so much more on the Africa stuff here. What else did I say? That also that he noticed that here, I'm going to go to the comments because I haven't even looking. I don't even know there's any. As he got says, I'm still half asleep. one thing that Dobell did notice when he was looking at when they were starting to get towards the Cameroon Mountain and whatnot, it was that more or less the indifference between many of the native peoples in Cameroon towards they didn't seem to really care who they were helping, as long as I guess you paid them and whatever. They were seemed to be, you know, pro German or pro British or French or whatever. So I found that interesting. Mandarin Mike says, anybody know if there's a game on the Cameroon campaign in World War One? I know, would not be nice. It just, I think we were mentioning this before a few weeks ago too, Mandarin Mike, when we're starting to look at all the bits of the narrative, and I was thinking, my gosh, especially when Charles Satara was playing the Battle of Tanga, I was thinking, my gosh, it seems like a really, at the same scale, that would be really good for a lot of the, you know, there's amphibious landings, there's a lot of, you know, stuff going up and down all these little rivers, and it just seemed really interesting. What else did I notice? They were saying that around Christmas time, Gorge's forces were near Melong. I don't know where the heck that is. Maybe it's on the better map. I don't know. But I'll try to finish this up. Oh my God, 45 minutes in. Jesus, Murphy. Let's see here. On the 5th of January, this says that, we don't get Adia here, so I'll put it back to the other one. There we go. But it says on the 5th of January that the Germans mounted an attack on Adia, but that was repelled by the French forces that were garrisoned. And I think that's all I have left for the Africans bit. No, they destroyed the fort. They destroyed a fort at... Where the heck did they destroy the fort? I don't know. Oh, I'm trying to look for it. Oh, at Dashang, wherever the heck that is. I think that was way up towards the northern bit, but let's see if we can get back to there. Dashang, I don't know where I can find that. You can see it. That's not the end of the world. Well, there's Susa there. So, anyways, they destroyed a fort at that point. That's right. And that's when he fell back, and that's when the Germans were able to start start hunkering in. And where did they start hunkering in at the very end? So it was just north of Nukagamba or some bloody thing, and I think that was where you'll see in the next map, that's where it's all screwed up. So I think right around here, somewhere around there is where I think the Germans are, just north, are all hunkered down. So both sides are basically, from what I know, we'll go back to this bit, are hunkered down because the rainy season is starting to kick in. And I think I mentioned maybe last week or the week before, which is kind of almost a weird thing to mention with Cameroon, because it almost seems like all year long is the rainy season. So maybe it's less rainy season. I don't know. What else? Goodness, I feel. Yeah, I don't know if it's a good idea to chit chat about or to do the playthrough of Callendale, because it's 25 minutes long. So we'll do that later. I'll go through a few things. You guys can keep. Just bring up stuff if you want to, whatever. I'm going to talk about stuff that I wish I still want to look up, or I just don't have enough time as per bloody usual. Where the heck is it? Oh yeah, I want to, when I was looking up all the abbreviations in Der Weltkrieg and whatnot, there's especially with the Grand Campaign, there's just so many different unit types and special, like this type of mountain unit or whatever. He goes through the whole slew of like why he used certain colors and so on and so forth. So I thought maybe that would be a good thing to take a look at some point as well. All the different whatevers. Like I said, for the next naval section, I would like to take a look at the merchant shipping and go from there. So that'll bring up resource shipping and sustainment. But it's a long, here, we'll go back to the go back to this bit and I'll share you the thing. You'll see what I mean. Yeah, there we go. All right, so yeah, if you can see here, where are we? Hopefully I don't go too far up for you guys, but as in it goes too quick and you get all like, ooh, what's going on? But where are we here? I guess like here's just the beginning of the naval war, and I mean at the before that is all the economic aspects, and which obviously is going to tie in with the naval war because they start mentioning things such as the resource points and whatnot, and of course that's going to be brought in. Like I don't understand. Like I'm going to have to backtrack yet again, but. Yeah, we like I said, we did talk a bit about the ports, but this is just look at all this stuff. Holy Moses! Just little bits, little bits. So I'll start off with the merchant shipping this week. I'll start reading up on that, and then we'll get into the resource shipping, and that should help with figuring out what in the world. I mean, then we start getting into the naval transport, and there's long distance and short distance, and holy smokes. Yeah, that's going to be crazy. So I'll stop sharing that. I'll go back to normal land here. What else? There's really not much else to say, guys. Oh yeah, I remember that. I can't remember the person that mentioned it a few weeks ago on one of the comments on the YouTube about what I thought about the constraints put on, or how Dave Schroeder and the rules set up. How does Austria play out, or how did I think Austria would play out in 1914 or whatever, historically and whatnot? And I had to say to the person, look, I don't know, I don't know enough to be able to say whatever, but we can certainly go over what the constraints are, and I do know that I had mentioned. From a previous gamer, someone was mentioning that they were complaining often about, and I could kind of clue in who the heck they were playing. They were obviously playing the Austro-Hungarians when they were playing the opening scenario for Der Weltkrieg. Were really irritated that they had to, had to do this. Were forced to do this, and I was like, well, I mean, you're playing a historical scenario, but yet again, was mentioning one of the comments about with Dave Schroeder saying that going off into alternate history land, and that I mean here is the game designer saying that he enjoys for example trying the grand campaign out with having Germany and Russia as the allies against everybody else, which I thought for my part I just thought that's rather compelling. But I mean, boy oh boy, you really got, at least for me, you got to really stack the cards for the other side, because Germany and Russia together, that just seems just fantastic, like just a fantastic setup. Maybe I'm wrong, but geez. William Aaron says, with all due respect for Charles Latour, the German Empire effectively lost control de facto of its colonies by their being cut off from them by the British Navy. Versailles made it to jour. I don't know what that. I'm not. Yeah, I don't know what. You're gonna have to explain that a bit more to me, William Aarons, if you want. What else? I don't know what else to say, really, guys. It's we're only about 6 minutes left. I'm just kind of whatever. Yeah, I don't really know what else to go on with today. And I'm certainly not going to go on with the 25-minute Callendale thing. That would it's not fair to him because I don't want to cut it off. I wonder, I guess we could always abbreviate or serialize even the little episodes, but there's not too many left. What else? Henry Mike says, who the heck would want to play Austria against Germany and Russia? Yeah, for that specific scenario. And there's the other thing that you're mentioning. Get me back on track a little bit, Andrew Mike, is that's the thing. Like even with Der Weltkrieg, I think I've mentioned it before. it's good for the scenarios and whatnot, but I'm thinking like many times, like if you're going to play something in 1916 or whatever, or you know the whatever, like when I said when I was looking at Caporetto for the at this scale, is it really a fun? Is it really a fun game to play? I personally, like I've said, I don't want to play. I don't want to play Caporetto at that level with Der Weltkrieg. I'd rather play Der Weltkrieg the way I'm playing it, or do something that way. Um, or if I am going to do something scenario wise or whatever, maybe it is like a thought experiment. Okay, I want to, or you know, that type of thing. But certainly not. I'm going to be like, oh boy, let's spend a good afternoon having a really exciting time. Let's say for I'm going to use Rob for example. Let's come over and play the Battle of Caporetto using Der Weltkrieg. I don't think so. Mandarin Mike says if Britain, France, Italy, Austria, and Turkey all against Germany and Russia, that might be fun. Yeah, I think, I'm not sure the way I was having it in my little crazy world. I think I had the Ottoman Empire, Ger- I'll have to look. I've got the maps. I've got my little pretend maps set up somewhere upstairs, as far as I know. But yeah, I was trying to figure out all kinds of wacky, weird ways. And I was the thing is, yeah, you can't. It's Austria-Hungary, as you know. It's got is they essentially share a giant freaking front with Germany and Russia. Good luck. Good luck with that. I think I'm not sure who the heck I was talking to about it. If it was in a previous post or whatever. But let's take a look at Italy. How in the world, historically, could Italy even seriously consider joining? Obviously, they did. They were. I mean, they were supposedly hedging their bets or whatever, figuring out who was going to give them the best deal. But how in the world could they have thought they were going to ally with the Central Powers when you're food dependent? You're getting, you know, and then the British are just gonna, like, where William Aarons is kind of alluding to with the naval blockade. I mean, they're just gonna block off all food shipments towards Italy. How in the world is Italy? Where's Italy gonna get their freaking food from? I don't see where that is gonna. I can't see that. Charles Latour says no argument here, William. So I just find it. I don't see how in the world Italy could have at the bare. I could see them maybe wanting to stay neutral. Maybe that would have maybe, but I guess in the long run it was a good idea for them. If you want to look at it in the long run, I guess they gained. I don't know what, but obviously they must have gained something from the Versailles Treaty. I don't know if they're one of the people that were pissed off from. This is at a point in time yet. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Mandarin Max is still looking for Cameroons, but found a game on Invasion of Togoland 1914. Cool. Nice one, man. Yeah, so that's it. I'm going to close it up relatively quick, guys. I hope this went kind of okay. I just, yeah, I think it was, it's weird. I don't know if Hissy Cat's still around, but it was, I'm not saying I enjoyed seeing you have a bit of discomfort or whatever. But last Thursday during your live stream, when you were occasionally squirming a little bit, and it's because it's difficult being maybe not for all personality types, but for me it is me at times, not all the time. I've had some great whatevers, but it is difficult being it's like a one-way stream. It's a one-way road. You know, there's only one person here, and there's no you know, audio connections with you guys and so on and so forth. So it feels weird. Like many times it feels like a you know, dead air or what have you. And you know, if my mind goes off into Wonderland, I can get sidetracked relatively quickly, which sucks. I'm trying to look at some of my links. Maybe that'll help. William Aaron says, wasn't the most active African campaign in German East Africa. You're probably right. I don't know. I guess Germany. So that's where that would be. I guess where what's his diddle there is Leto Vorbeck would be hanging out. I would assume all this time. I mean, I'm trying here. I'm just trying to quickly look at my. Oh, please, guys! I popped it in the link. Meandering Mike says, yes, Leto Vorbeck held out until 1918. Very active campaign. Um, yeah, there's the other side note. Wouldn't that be? We got to find out about that Zeppelin, that failed Zeppelin, that supposedly the captain or whatever was pretty upset because I think he said he could have made it and dropped off supplies in Africa or whatever, and they called it back. Um, Please, I hope you guys look it up. It's the link for the Pershing Lecture Series. I popped it in here. The Eastern Front National Perspectives on Austria-Hungary, Germany, and Russia. And it's essentially four lectures. Three of them are doing a lecture, but the fourth one is also a lecturer, but he's just kind of like the host of the whatever. And well, three things I find really compelling about, well, it's fascinating information that they're throwing at me. Two, is there's a lot of interesting dynamics between the lectures. You can see that there's a bit of friction with some of that. Which I find really interesting. And the third bit is just there's yet again it's going to send me off onto another trail of finding out more information. To fill in stuff. So please, I hope you guys go and watch that Pershing lecture series. It's only about an hour. It is fantastic. And the beautiful thing is you get like a 15-minute chunk of Austria-Hungary, Germany, Russia kind of thing, and you'll see them. They start interacting back and forth, and especially the question and answer afterwards. It's just like neat. Just really, really, really good stuff. That's it, guys. I hope you guys have a great week. I haven't checked all the live stream information. So what? There's the War Room still at 4 o'clock Eastern time, and then I'm assuming not. He doesn't do it all the time, but I know there's other people that still seem to have one on the Saturday. If not, Jay is doing his thing at 9 o'clock. And then thank you, Charles Latorre, for mentioning that Reese has it. What's it called? 54 mil, Reese 54 millimeter or something. That he's got a channel up. Thank you for letting me know. This is the other nice thing is to see big figures. It's just really neat. The only other time I've actually got to stare at some big figures properly is there used to be, which is not around anymore. Okay, thank you. Manny Mike mentions 54 Empires, Reese's channel. Thank you. And of course, that would be another nice thing to do too, is put everybody's channel things in my live stream link thing. That's a very smart thing. That would be a smart thing to do. There used to be a store here downtown in the market. It's not around here anymore. Who the heck was I talking to? It was at Can Games. And I mentioned to them, anyways, this person had, used to sell 54 millimeter figures and mostly World War. Oh my God, it was my favorite vendor who's going to be at, it's actually that military show is on tomorrow at the 8th annual military hobby show. I think I was mentioning to you guys. My favorite vendor, he'll be at that tomorrow, and he said he would be bringing in some 54 millimeter World War I figures for me to look at. That's right, because I had mentioned, I said, oh, did you guys, do you know about that store downtown where I used to stare at all these freaking, well, they're all World War II that he had, but I was just like, whoa, like, to see, like, it's just like, wow. William Mayer says, Eric Holgren is doing a live stream on Napoleonic War Tactics at 8. Thank you. This is a good thing. Thank you, William Ayers, for bringing this stuff up, man. And here we are again with the Napoleonics. Everybody seems to be Napoleonic happy right now. Thank you for bringing this up. Let's, get more of this live stream information out. What else? And of course, obviously, the ubiquitous, or I should say, the ongoing, the biggie. The counter clipping show on Monday nights, and then there's the I don't know everything. I don't know if that is what it's called every Tuesday night. Everything you wanted to know about wargaming but afraid to ask. I think it's the Ardwolf, but I always consider it more Dan Pancaldi's show, to be honest with you, than Ardwolf's. thing, and then there's Not Jay Wednesday night, and then there's Hissy Cat. Man, I am so flippin' happy that you are doing these podcasts on. It just the other thing is, even if I don't get to watch them or be there live or whatever, and other people is whatever, they're being recorded, they're being stored. You guys are like, it's there for like. Well done on you, man. Thank you so much for this. It's awesome to see. Mandarin Mike says June 15th to 18th coming up. Time to gain Quatre Bras, Ligny, Wavre, and Waterloo in June. Cool. Maybe I'll watch a little bit of. Can watch some Sharp. That would be. That's. I don't know if you guys have ever watched that, but it's. I don't know if it's just called straight up Sharp. But it's really good. And the neat thing is, you can see, at least for me, I can see how long, or the tail end ones, like the very last episode, you can see it's like a special episode where he goes to India and whatnot. And it's like, holy cow, is Sean Bean ever getting old? Compared to the very beginning. He's still young, but you get the idea. Charles Latour says, waiting for Compass to release their shoots through 1914 to 1918. Sharps Rifles. Thank you, Meandering Mike. Yeah, darn, that's a good show. Yeah, well, that gets you into the Napoleonics, especially if you're into the, I guess, what is it called, Peninsular campaign. I don't know too much. That's about it, guys. I hope you got, like I said, I hope you have a good week. It's a wonderful day today. It's really cooled down. We had a wicked stormy, actually we didn't have any rain or whatever, but it's dropped the temperature a fair amount. Actually, I will say on a side note, a few things. Harold Bosma, hi Nangwe, great show, thank you. Thank you, sir, or ma'am, because I have no idea. Mini War likely smashed. I don't know what the smashed is, but there you go, or what it refers to. I was in Hoser House Rules withdrawal mode. I love that guy's dungeon crawl. I just enjoy it, man. It's just a good vibe all around. Like, it's just, those are the type of people I would want a D&D game with, for flippin' sure. Mandarin Mike says, hey Brian. Mandarin Mike says, I know very little about Peninsular Campaign. Mandarin Mike says, likely button is referring to, oh, okay. Sorry, man. I had no idea. It's not the way my brain works. Oh my God, you guys are commenting. I can't read them all. Or William Aarons is supposed to be cooler in Southwest Ontario as well. Yeah, it's going to be wonderful. Anyways, so Hoser House Rules, I put it in my community tab, a little link for it. And lo and behold, he had about an hour-long dungeon thingamajig. What an ending. You know, sometimes you think, like, okay, are these people, like, as if, like, do people, I'm sure people do, do a little video whatevers and go, okay, this is the best die roll or whatever, I'll use this. But you could tell. A Mini War might says, hi, Mandarin Mike. What an ending. That's all I got to say. What an ending to that freaking mini adventure. And what a great idea. I'll give you a little bits about it. This in their ongoing dungeon adventure, they saved an enslaved goblin who ended up, Rika, who ended up becoming part of their group. And now this little side adventure is that Rika has grabbed some of his goblin buddies, and they've zipped off to the Kobold Slave Master's cave, and they're out to kick some major kobold ass. And it's called Rika's Revenge. It is good. Oh, yeah. I was like, this is just, I was really super duper happy to see that this morning. I was like, okay. And the way it ended, I was like, you've got to be flipping kidding me. This is just, oh, and here's a side note. You want to know what they're using as, the way you like, for example, Charles Latour, they're using dire wolves or whatever with his orcs and so on and so forth. They were using giant centipedes as some of their little pets for the goblins. I was like, what the hell? I've never heard of that thing. So he's like, okay, we're sending off this little giant centipede to go and attack the kobold knight and so on and so forth. I thought, it's so cool. What else? Yeah, I'm just, and yet again, there's also these little the painting challenge updates that Mini Warmut and whatnot have been posting about, which I think I just found out is about a month to go for your guys' miniature painting challenge. So good luck on all of you guys for that bit. That's about it. I'm just gonna take it easy. I think well, actually, what do I have to do? Still trying to figure out how I'm going to incorporate. I'm going to do it a bit more nicely, and I feel like I don't have to be so specific about trying to figure out all the strength points and whatnot about all the armies for all the different fronts of trying to incorporate it in with my mini game. So that's going to be okay. No, I was reading a little bit about reading a little bit of Sun Tzu. I just started doing the quote. Here, I'm going to read and we'll stop at that. I know. Sorry, I'm a Sun Tzu freak. I told you that. Hold on. Let me get my book. And I'll let you guys off on that. And like I said, I don't read these quotey type stuff because I think I'm some deep dude or whatever. Mini Warmut says, get a miniature game going, roll some bones. You darn right. Especially the way Mini Warmut, the way Charles Latore does. He's like, enough of this crap. Put the stuff on the bloody table. Let's get the goddamn miniatures going. And away he goes. And I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly the way I used to play. Just to get my ass going, or like if I was playing way back when oh gosh, I'm gonna have to find these pictures of. Please, I hope I find these pictures. I'll have to post them up for you guys. And you know what sucks is I did show the pictures again to Zoe because she's like, I don't remember playing that game, and it's one of my I would say my top 3 miniatures games I've ever played in my entire life was with my daughter, and she was about 12. And we played actually in this living room just over here. I made a castle out of paper towel rolls and whatnot and used textured paint, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. I'll show you the pictures later. One of the best freaking times I've ever, we played for a week. And I was having such a good time. I can remember almost getting upset. Well, I did. That she had homework to do. So it was almost like the flip side of like, you can skip your homework, let's go to... I was like the anti-parent or whatever, because I just wanted to get back to playing, and it was awesome because it was back and forth. Like for a while, I was kicking her butt, and then she was kicking mine. Oh, she had the Golgar. You should see this freaking thing. And the way my rule system set up. I mean, the thing is just a freaking walking missile shooting tank. It's just nuts. Anyways, I'll try to show you those pictures. I did finally get to show her the pictures, and just bits of inkling popped back, and she's like, yeah, I think I remember playing that. I was like, how can you not remember playing that game? Like, it was it's like, to me, an epic, it was an epic, it's just awesome. Yeah, exactly. Mini Warmut, I'm not kidding you. I felt weird at the time. I was like, what the hell's going on? If she tells you one of your parents, one of the teachers, they may have the police show up and take her away or something. Good Lord. Yeah, and then I'll finish this little quote. So, I'm at a stuck part with the Russian thing. I have to try, like I said, I want to try to figure out a way of severing the Austrian Third Army, but there's just no way. The rail line is too far away, and I just don't have enough troops for the Russians. Charles Latore says, homework. Eldest granddaughter is normal, hates doing homework. Yeah, it's just because 9 times out of 10, let's be honest, I just, at least the way when I was growing up, it's god awful boring, man. They got to figure out different ways of, like, engage people, man. Like, make it so it's not, you don't realize it's whatever. What the hell do you think is doing 99% of the time I'm doing this stuff here? I'm learning history and whatnot. I don't know that I'm learning history or whatever. It's just part of the whatever. It's like, jeepers jumping. So anyways, I just started, like I said, I was just starting to write this in my little journal here before the live stream. I was like, holy shit, you got 7 minutes. You better stop doing this stuff and go back to reality. It says, if we the place we have chosen to give and this is why I have to try to start figuring out, because I can't do it right off the bat. So I'm trying to figure out for the Russians to get ready maybe in a month or something, when what do they call it? All your ducks are in a row. The place we have chosen to give the enemy battle must be kept from him. If he cannot anticipate us, the positions the enemy must prepare to defend will be many. And if the positions he must prepare to defend are many, then any unit we engage in battle will be few in number. Thus, if the enemy makes preparations by reinforcing his numbers at the front, his rear is weakened. If he makes preparations at the rear, his front is weakened. If he makes them on his left flank, his right is weakened. If he makes them on his right flank, his left is weakened. To be prepared everywhere is to be weak everywhere. So that's it. Yet again, like I've said, Sun Tzu to me is like all the power to you, man. Like frustrating, compelling, intriguing, fascinating, exciting. Just fantastic, dude. That's it. Off I go. I'll do my other stuff, and then I'll be just a normal commenter, like whatever. I'll be on the flip side, saying whatever's. Thank you guys so much. It's wonderful seeing you guys as usual. And like I said, for me, this has just been just a continual motivation, and this is all I want to do. And on a side note, on a weird side note, I'll put it on I'll put it in my community post. My friend Troy from Tasmania, I was mentioning, he sent me a little video post. I don't know. I'm sorry if you guys are not into his stuff, Alan Watts and whatnot, but it was just a nice little thing about just following what you want to do, kind of thing. It was really nice. William Aaron says, I'm having a hard time getting my young grandson into the games I've bought. He's much more interested in space exploration, and even the space-based board games can't compete with the computer. Mini Warmat, take care, Nangwe. And you too, man. Amanda Mike says, thank you for another live stream. Thank you, sir. And Charles Latore Williams, same. I'm all I got to say this on a side note before I finally leave and leave you guys alone is I'm glad I'm not a teenager. I'm glad I'm not. I have a lot of time on my hands with computer stuff because I don't know if I'd ever see the sun, like the real sun. That's it. Okay, leave you guys alone. Have a great time. See you. Bye.